Okay. I guess we can start. I think people will start joining as we also introduce the webinar. So welcome everyone. Good morning. This is the second webinar of this webinar series that we are calling Breaking Barriers in Plus Energy Building Design to share insights from runner projects. So this is a webinar that is being developed in the context and the framework of the Horizon 2020 Culturally project that later Ana Maria Belleri, the coordinator of the project, will introduce to you. I see some familiar faces, other new faces, so welcome everybody. It's great to have you all here. So my name is Beatriz Pineda. I'm a research fellow at RMIT Europe. RMIT Europe is the innovation hub of the Australian University Royal Melbourne Institute of Technology. And I'm here today moderating and facilitating this webinar with my colleagues Ana Maria Belleri from EURAC Research and Marta Candidi from ACE, so the Architects Council of Europe. And yeah, today we are, as I said, very happy to continue with this webinar series. And we are also very pleased to have with us two architects, Evian Buro and Mayalen Aritz, from two PEBs, both in Norway and in Spain. So they will be presenting and sharing their experiences in PEB design, both the challenges that they've been facing when designing their plus energy buildings, but also some of the lessons learned. So this is a fora to share this type of insights, and we would like to, before we start, have some housekeeping rules for webinars, but I'm pretty sure you know all about this. So you all have your microphones muted, so thanks for that. Also, the cameras are off during the webinar, but of course, you can use the chat box to raise your questions. And at the end of the webinar, we will have some space for a Q&A. So we will be hearing, and then also you can turn off your cameras, right, at that point. The event is being recorded, so I hope everybody agrees with that. If not, please let us know. And the recording will be shared on our Culturally social media channels, on the YouTube channel, so for you to check later on. If you have any questions or doubts, you can always go through it again. So very quickly, this will be the webinar structure for today. This will be guiding our next hour together. So we are going to present some updates on the PEB Hub. So the PEB Hub was launched in last February, so it's been a while, and we've been working on it, and we have some updates that we would like to share with you. And the same with the ACE Hub that Marta will be presenting. So she will also be sharing some insights on the PEB Hub interest group on plus energy buildings that you can of course join. Then this will be followed by a panel discussion in which we are addressing these two questions. So what are the main challenges and lessons learned when designing a plus energy building? And how can this PEB Hub, this repository community, support you, PEB professionals, in this journey, right, towards building PEBs? So we have today, as I mentioned, two cases, two PEBs, one in Norway, one in Spain. So the first one is a nursing home in Baerum, so very, very close to Oslo. And this is being one of the pilots in the Culturally project. And our second PEB is the San Pedro Housing renovation project in Pamplona. And this is the Spanish demo case of the Horizon 2020 Open Lab project. And it will be later introduced by Mayalen. So without further ado, I leave the floor to Ana Maria Belleri, Culturally coordinator, who will explain you a bit more about this project, right, Culturally, in which this webinar is embedded, and also some of the design guidelines that have been an outcome of our project. So Ana Maria, please.
Yeah. Good morning also from my side, and thank you, Beatriz, for the introduction. Today, I'm going to briefly present culturally the project finished this year, actually, not in 2024, but this last February we had the final event of the project, and you can find all the results on the website online. It was a project that answered the call from the European Commission about developing solutions for new multi-residential buildings and which should be plus energy, with the idea that this new construction building should supply for the negative energy balance of the other buildings in the neighborhood that, because of some reason, could not reach the net zero energy balance, let's say. We worked a lot on defining what is a plus energy building, and here's our definition. Plus energy building is an energy efficient building that produces more final energy than it uses via locally available renewable sources over a time span of 1 year. And it's not only about balance, because the plus energy building should be also flexible enough to ensure a good dynamic matching between load and generation, reduce as much as possible the greenhouse gas emission, and also ensure an added value for the users, providing accessible and comfortable and healthy indoor environments. The energy generation shall be performed by renewable energy system, typically located within the building footprint, so typically photovoltaic systems. And the location of the renewable energy production could be also extended to adjacent building lots, as long as there is a physical connection and the management of the energy generation system is directly controlled by the building ownership. And also it should be e-mobility ready. Going on the next slide. The path towards plus energy building has been quite long. As you might know, the first plus energy houses came up in the 90s, but then and the first multifamily house came in the early 2005. But the issue was that the solution were still not cost effective. So the effort done within this project was to analyze also a set of solutions that aim at meeting the target plus energy, but also doing it in an affordable way. And in the end of the project, we had 4 demonstration cases located in different climate, but also cultural context. Because one of the main pillars, let's say, of our work was also to understand the social and cultural differences that characterize the way people use and interact with the buildings. We kind of summarized all our results in the design guidelines that you can access either through the PEB HUB or through this direct QR code link. We summarize them in 7 key design principles, and that's how the design guidelines are also structured as well. And this document is a kind of easy access point to all the project results. So if you are interested into looking at the results of the project, I suggest to start from these guidelines, and then in case and there you can find also all the links to the other reports and publication produced in case you want to deepen such some aspects related to that. And yeah, so here is the link, and also I put also the link to our YouTube channel where you can find the final project event. Yeah, so now I'll leave the word to Beatrice for the presentation of the updates on the PEB HUB.
Thank you, Ana Maria. So now, as Ana Maria is mentioning, I will guide you through the platform, right? Through this Plus Energy Building Hub. So it starts as a repository, but aims to become a community, the community that is dedicated to advance Plus Energy Building design, right? And this is a community for PEB professionals, so for architects, but also engineers, researchers, professionals who are all in different ways, right? And through their different disciplines contributing to this Plus Energy Building new landscape, right, that we are facing in Europe. So this is a QR code that if you scan it will guide you directly into the platform. I will also give you now a walkthrough of the platform, so bear with me. You will also get a first-hand a guided tour. But before that, this is just to explain for those of you who might not have yet visited the PEB HUB. So what can you find there, right? So this is a platform where you can find, first of all, real-world examples of Plus Energy buildings, and with the details on the technology solutions, performance data, envelope innovations, climate adaptive designs, but also, as Ana Maria was mentioning before, this culturally, this is a project that has been paying special attention to these cultural and climatic considerations that are also being gathered in the PEB HUB. And this is also for you to check, right? So we will see this in a minute. The design guidelines are also in the PEB HUB, as Ana Maria was just explaining. And we have like these sections of tips by designers for designers, because we think it's very important that designers themselves share practical advice to actually, help and support others who are maybe starting this endeavor, right, to build a Plus Energy building. And then there is also a quiz, which is like a simple interactive explanation of what are Plus Energy buildings, because as you know and are very well aware of, so Plus Energy buildings are still a niche, and basically we need to also raise awareness among the general audience, right, on what is a Plus Energy building, to inform more non-specialist audiences, right, for that. And now I will quickly guide you through the platform. And for that, I think I will stop sharing and I will share my screen with a second. Bear with me there for a moment. So I'll share this screen with you. And please, Ana Maria or other dear colleagues, let me know if you see my screen with the Plus Energy building on it. Okay, thank you. So if you go to the QR code and you land into the Plus Energy building repository, this is what you see, right? It is also worth mentioning that the PEB HUB is embedded within an umbrella platform, which is this Energy Efficient Buildings Hub that is developed by EURAC Research, and one of the tabs is the Plus Energy Building Hub, but you can also, if you are curious about it, go to the Industrialized Deep Retrofit Hub that we are not covering today. So we are focusing today on the Plus Energy Building Hub. here, as I was mentioning, you can find different real-world examples. Today, we will focus on one. For example, we can choose this one, the P18 urban quarter on Priesnitzberg in Stuttgart, in Germany. So this is an example of a designer who has been introducing data on their PEB. And here you can find from very straightforward information. So who is the architect? In this case, AH Active House, the owner, some brief description of the Plus Energy building, then some general information, so building gross area, net area, numbers of floors, and so on and so forth. You can, of course, read it yourself. You can also go and see into detail some of the photos if you click on them. So basically, you can, let me see, yeah, go and see this in more detail. So by the way, this has been beautifully designed by EURAC colleagues. So thank you also to Olga and Ludovica for their hard work on designing such a beautiful platform. So here you can see this bigger, right, all the details on installations, construction, different types of photos that the designers have been providing. Then you have this part on technology solution set, so you can learn more about the heating, cooling, ventilation, and of course go more into detail. So what have been the building technologies, the type of systems, the technologies behind, distribution systems. So the designers have been providing also information on, for example, primary energy demand for the renewable energy production. So these are all things that you can go through them, right? And learn more about this Plus Energy building in general. So then you have also information on the building envelope. Of course, you can see the images that have been provided for that purpose. So what have been like wall, roof, window, U values, for example, and other data that is quite important when you design your building and that you can learn from. And then you have the culture and climate section, where you can also understand by going through this survey that the designers themselves have been answering. So you can learn more about how they have been taking into account different practices that households are performing when living in those PEBs, such as, for example, heating, cooking, ventilating, opening windows, for which purposes, right? To clean, when you clean to ventilate, or when you open your windows just because you want to be in contact with the outdoors. So also information on mechanical ventilation, cooling needs for some specific climates, and some specific design features that have been generating this surplus of energy. So this is just an example, and of course you have many other examples of Plus Energy buildings in the repository. We welcome your contributions as well, and this is one of the updates that we've been working on. So now, if you go directly to the My Plus Energy building, you can create and update data on your Plus Energy building. So you can first of all you have to log in, first sign in and create a password, and then we'll provide you access, and then you can go and create a building. So you can call it, I don't know, PEB example, and you can start inserting directly in a very straightforward way. Thanks again to our EURAC colleagues for this very user-friendly platform. You can start inputting here information, general information. You select the type of climate, the country, where is the address. So there are, as you will see, some fields that are mandatory, others that are more optional. You can add information on general information. So they're the same as we've seen before. The technology solution sets, you can also upload images directly. This is just for you to get an understanding of how you can input this information yourself. So it's mostly clicking, ticking boxes, and sometimes providing more text, so more in a qualitative way about the envelope technology, and then some of the questions about the culture and climate. And then you can fill in this culture and climate survey and add your tips for designers by designers. So I guess I will stop sharing, and maybe Ana Maria, if you can again share back our presentation. And in the meantime, using this time, if you start having some questions, you can start writing them on the chat, on the Q&A tab, so that we can have them for later. And now, quickly, Marta Candidi from ACE will tell us a bit about the updates on the ACE Hub.
Thank you, Beatrice. Thank you, Ana Maria. Great. And Beatrice, if in the meantime you can also access the ACE Hub, so afterwards we can share it.
Oh yeah, that's
Thank you.
Good.
Good morning, everyone. Also from my side, I'm Marta Candidi, Project Officer from the Architects Council of Europe. And today I will introduce you to the ACE Hub and the interest group in the ACE Hub. Okay. So the Architects Council of Europe, for those who don't know, it's an umbrella association that represents the architect profession throughout Europe. And what we are trying to do with the ACE Hub is to create like a platform that can be a social media for architects, for designers, for professionals that want to connect, share knowledge, share new experiences, and also network. So what you will see now that I will navigate you through the platform is really like an area where you can find information about news and interesting collaborative experiences, let's say. Beatrice, can you share the screen?
Yes.
Thank you.
So let me know when you see it. Wait a second, the right one, this one.
Perfect. I think you need to log in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I have already logged in, so maybe I can share it, Beatrice, if you don't mind.
As you wish. Yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
So as you can see, in the meantime, this is like an online platform, but it's also an app that you can download on your phone.
Right. Okay, now you see it.
Yes. So
Maybe
this is the homepage when you log in, and here you can find all the tabs that you can see on the home. Basically, you have the matchmaking and networking, which is the part when you can find collaboration opportunities, job and internship opportunities, and also the users directory, which is interesting because you can see actually the members who are inscribed in the platform. Then under news and resources, you can see so the latest news, publications, meaning like publication from the Architects Council of Europe, but also from the EU on interesting topics, but also publication that all users can upload. On events and activities, you have a calendar where you can see both past and upcoming events. And then you have these interest group parts. So the interest groups are aimed to be like communities that gather people around themes and topics in architecture. And the idea is that they facilitate the collaboration and the idea sharing. And for the plus energy building, we decided to try to create a community that can gather professionals and give them the space to communicate and share ideas. Thank you, Ana Maria. So yeah, if you scroll down, you can find this plus energy building interest group. I will just show you briefly how the group works. Basically, when you enter, you have all these tabs, stream, about, events, topic, and users. It works like the ACE Hub in general. So in the users, you can see who is actually in the group. You can see their job title, where they work normally. If they can also add more information. And here, yeah, you can see and connect with them. Then close to that, you have topics, which is the part where you can share interesting information. And if you go down on the left, you have this create topic button. We are currently working to make this platform a bit more user-friendly. So ACE is working on this, and hopefully next year will be easier to use. And then you can do the same for events. If you click now, for example, you see the webinar from today, and you have the same create event option. And on about, you just have a description of the interest group. And when you see the yellow part up on the right, there you have all the features to use the sub in general. So when you want to add whatever kind of item, you can do it by here. Then you have your messages. You can see the groups you are into, and then you can see the notifications.
Okay.
Thank you.
Great. So I guess now is the time for our speakers. So if you can again share the screen, Ana Maria, with the presentation. Our first speaker is Evian, and she's an architect and partner at Shore Architects, and she will be presenting the nursing home in Eiksveien, if I pronounce it correctly, in Baerum, Norway.
You have the control now, so you should move to the slides forward until you reach your presentation start.
Okay, yeah, so you didn't give me the presentation. I just...
Yeah, I wanted to do
There.
that, but you took control too early.
Is there... It's okay now?
Yes.
Yes. Hello, I'm Evian from Shore Architects, and I'm going to present Eiksveien 116 in Baerum municipality in Norway. And this is the Norwegian demo project in Cultural E. It is residential building with care home for people with special needs. There's 12 apartments, and it's located in a rural area in Østerås, about 11 kilometers from Oslo. It has a lot of welfare technology. The building has a high environmental profile, and it's built with solid wood constructions. It's a passive house and the future build project, and its certification is BREEAM-NOR Excellent. It has been a learning project. For example, use of visible solid wood inside the building is demanding in relation to fire and zone regulation in this kind of building. And there was a lot of discussion because no one wanted to take any risk, but it landed it at least. There was a zero emission construction site, and the building is a part of Baerum Municipality Climate Strategy 2030. If we go to the site plan, we can see it's a north-facing plot on a sloping terrain. And to achieve good daylight and views from the apartments, the building is laid out along the length of the plot, with the apartment facing southeast and northwest. Also, to accommodate the height differences on the plot, the building is designed with 3 floors, and all floors have direct access to the terrain. And to optimize the outdoor living area, because this was a quite small plot, sheds have been built into the ground so that the roof become a part of the garden. And you can see the section, how it fit into the terrain and the different levels. So, this is the floor plans. First floor contain main entrance and also a staff area. It has the storage area, technical room, and stairs and lift to the other floors. If you go to second floor, it contains 6 apartments and a common area. The third floor is similar, but the flats are a bit bigger in this floor. The homes are intended for people aged 18 and over who need full-time help, and all apartments are universally designed and came in different sizes. The design is a compact, rational building with the smallest possible footprint to ensure environmental consideration. Adaptation to the terrain has been important, and the outdoor space and the garden are also a part of the environmental concept. This is a picture of from north southwest, southeast, sorry, where you can see the solar panels on the roof and also a part with a blue-green roof. There's a lot of technical things in the building, and we have balanced mechanical ventilation with heat recovery, water-based floor heating, hot water from central boiler, and we have AMS record electricity consumption for each apartment. There's lighting system with motion detector in common areas, and the central control and building management system BMS are installed. There's a lot of sensors, high resolution data from 300 sensors. There's quite a lot for such a building. When we came to heat and energy source, we have heat pump with electric boiler for the peaks. There's 3 geothermal wells. There's PV, solar panel on the roof, battery storage, and EV charging. There's the building from northwest, and we can also see how the building connect to the different levels on the garden. So how much energy plus? The building itself is extremely energy efficient, but less than 50% of available surface space on the roof is utilized with PV. With 100%, the building would produce more energy than used. Currently, the building is not a plus house. It would be if the entire roof surface was covered with solar cells. It's prepared for such an expansion. However, the project could then lose blue-green values and score lower on the LCA. So that's a decision which the building owner made. On the left, you can see a setup over the energy which are used in the building, and also how much PV we are generating. So challenges, what challenges did we meet? We had, of course, a challenge with the design of the building. It was a small sloping north-facing plot and high demands on area efficiency. The design team was established late, therefore we got very short time frames. There was also a change of assumption. The battery storage came quite late in the process, and then there wasn't any space left in the building. So we have to find a room in the bin shelves, and we also had to apply the authorities for this, and it took a bit time. And there was a challenge with technical competence. Also, this is a building. This building requires technological competence that many residents don't have. These are apartments for people with varying degrees of mental disabilities, and at the same time there is a high frequency of assistance, and it's not realistic that all of them have the necessary knowledge to optimize energy use. We have also social cultural conditions. In Norway, we are sleeping with windows open also during the winter. And in this building, several residents smoke, and in Norway we don't smoke inside. So doors are opened frequently, and that means a lack of energy. The type of housing was also a challenge because, for example, there's a need for ventilation beyond the capacity of ventilation system installed here. That means they open the window to ventilate. Some residents need a high indoor temperature, and extra heaters have therefore been installed, and that means that the building uses more energy than necessary. So what's lesson learned? Some of the lesson we learned was the criteria for energy level have to be included from the start of the design. That's important. And interdisciplinary collaboration from early phase, it's important. So emphasize basic design principle. The shape and orientation of the building affect energy consumption. We worked a lot with that. Construct good climate shells with high insulation values for wall, roofs and windows. It's important. Area efficient solution, and if you initially have a very energy efficient building, the road to a plus house is very short. We also have to consider who will live here. Advanced technology required educated residents. So at last, creating good building with the least possible negative impact on the environment. This will sometimes mean that blue-green values are prioritized higher than maximizing energy production. So thank you for your attention, and also thanks to SINTEF and Jon Einar for use of his technical input and data.
Thank you, Ariane. Thank you very much for the presentation. I think it shows some of the challenges, right? And the trade-offs that you were explaining and making, prioritizing, optimizing the energy production or valuing more, other aspects, right? So I think these are good points for the discussion. And seeing the time we have left, so I will give the word to Mayalen. If you can please take control of it so that you can scroll through the slides yourself. Are you now? Yeah.
Hi, good morning. I think I'm now in control. So,
Okay, great.
Good morning, everybody. I'm here with my colleague Soledad Castilla, and we will present you the San Pedro Housing renovation project in Pamplona, northern Spain. This is the building we are going to speak about. And this is a current photo of the building, and we are going to tell you how we transformed a 1950 building into a plus energy building. So first of all, I would like to tell you a bit about the location. The building is located in the city of Pamplona in northern Spain. And well, this is a working class neighborhood, one of the oldest neighborhoods in the city from the 1940s. And it's also one of the most crowded neighborhoods in the area. So this is also important for you to know, because the transformation of this building was possible thanks to the Open Lab project, which was a European co-funded project under the Horizon 2020 program. And La Rochapea was the Spanish demo lab of this project, which consisted on creating positive energy neighborhoods through an open environment and through a living lab approach. So not only the transformation of the building, which finished last summer, was important, but also the monitoring we are currently doing. And well, I also would like to take this time to thank all the local entities that have been working on the project, which you can see over there: AH Associates, CENER, Omenasa, and the public university from the Basque Country. And also just very shortly mention that we were the Spanish demo lab, but we also had some other colleagues in Tartu, Estonia, and in Genk, Belgium. So with all of this said, I will go to explain further the information of the building. So this is an old photo, not of the 2 blocks that we transformed, but from a building of the group. So you can see more or less the main characteristics of the building. So it is a 3-story building consisting on 2 blocks, 6 apartments in each block, so 12 apartments. Each of them was already quite small, like 60 square meters per apartment. There was no elevator in none of the blocks. And also for you to know, the structure was of reinforced concrete frame of columns and beams, and also a structural brick wall facade. So it was a quite constraining structure. And well, also to shortly mention, in the 1990s, some important rehabilitation works were done, consisting on water supply and aligning interior, but not anything significant regarding installations. So the challenge, you may see that it was major, because we had a quite, well, an old building with constrained structure, no modern installations, and already quite small apartments. And we wanted to transform it into a plus energy building. So first of all, the passive strategies were really important. The first passive strategy was to create an outdoor terrace industrialized system. So with this strategy, we gained some outdoor space, but also we protected the southern facade from solar radiation. So we avoided intensive heating, and we reduced the energy demand of the building in order to cool. And we also installed automatic exterior blinds that will automatically raise or lower according to heat and wind conditions. So this was the first big design decision. And I don't know why you don't see the photo. I think you don't see it. But well, the other very important decision was creating a high performance thermal envelope. So in this case, we installed 25 millimeter vacuum panels and a wooden lining system in the interior of the facade. And with this strategy, we already achieved this high performance thermal envelope. The reason why we chose this system was that by insulating from the interior, we didn't change the image of the whole building group. And also we needed a really thin lining because we couldn't afford to lose more interior space of the apartments. And to complete the insulation, we also installed the same system in the roof, in the ceiling, but with a thicker solution. Oh, you see the picture now. Okay. Well, these are some final images for you to see them, like the final result. And well, to go on, then once we had made sure that we had minimized energy consumption as much as we could, we thought of active strategies. So first of all, we installed heat recovery units, whose aim was also to minimize energy demand. And they also worked with the ventilation system of the building. Then we maximize the efficiency of heat production systems by installing low GWP heat pumps that generate both heating and cooling. And we also put separated storage tanks to ensure proper insulation and prevent heat losses. And then, well, it is also really important to mention that the energy of the building comes from the solar panels in the roof. The whole roof, well, solar panels have been installed across the whole roof, that it's a surface of 380 square meters. So the energy produced by these solar panels is used for the building's self-consumption, but also the surplus, it's directed to the rest of the plus energy neighborhood. So it already exists an energy community that it's developing different initiatives in order to use this energy. And the city council has also promoted a green office in order to help the energy community and in general to help all the neighborhood develop these strategies. And well, before this, it's also important to mention that all the building is full of sensors, and automation of all devices has been developed in order for the inhabitants to control the heating system and to monitor the building and trying to make them responsible or accountable, or to know what it's going on with the building's installations. And well, it's also important to mention that in other renovations we are doing, we are introducing other kind of strategies also related with the plus energy buildings, and we did so here too. So we installed a sustainable urban drainage system, which takes half of the rainwater in the roof, and also EV chargers were installed in the building. So regarding data, we need to say that the building started having inhabitants from August on. So we have data from August, September, and October. But for nuance, it's also important to know that out of the 12 apartments, only 6 are occupied, and also that the heat system has only been active for 2 weeks, because we only have three months, and cold hasn't started yet. But here are some of our first data information, and we will keep tracking the building. And well, talking about challenges, I think that many are shared with Eiksveien. One of the most important ones was the one I was telling you about before, that we had a really constraining existing building, and we needed to implement all the installations and all the automations of the building. Here you can see a floor plan where you can see that we used the space of the bathroom in order to install the staircase, the elevator, and also the installations are within this space. And well, also some of the important challenges we faced were cost efficiency, because we have installed very important or very modern installations. And as we want this to be a replicable solution, we need to think about how to optimize these costs. And also, Eiksveien was mentioning it, the technical competence of users. Currently, the City Council is helping and giving information to the inhabitants of the building in order for them to know how to use it. But this is also a big challenge because of the socio-cultural conditions. And it is important also to tell you that in this case, the apartments have been handed over to different associations that work with people with disabilities. And we are aiming to give some of the apartments also to university students who can help them or assist them while they're living here, both in the day-to-day things and also in this dimension of installations and modern installations. So I think these were the main challenges, and the lessons learned, I think that could be resumed in the benefits of extensive teamwork and the power of great design decisions. And well, mentioning the extensive teamwork, I would also like to mention, I mentioned before the Spanish developed colleagues, but also like the full consortium for the opportunity and the help. And that is for me. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you, Mayalen. And also thank you, Soledad. I know that you've been one of the main architects behind this project, which is, I have to say, I've visited, and it's beautiful. I mean, it is a very nice renovation project. So congratulations also for you. And now we have a few minutes left, and if you don't mind, we can also stay a bit longer, because it would be nice to have a bit of a discussion. So I would first open the floor to the audience. I see that there is already one hand raised. So if you would like, you can also turn on your cameras and ask our presenters your questions. So Gahiriko, if I pronounce it.
It's me, Claire from Open Lab,
Okay.
and a
Yes,
colleague
Claire.
of Mayalen. Sorry, but I just wanted to congratulate. I wanted to react, and I pressed the wrong button. So congratulations to all of you. It was a pleasure to hear you, to know about your projects. I will let my colleagues know about the hubs and platforms, so we can all, make the most of all of this work. And congratulations, Mayalen. It's been a very nice presentation of San Pedro and all the work you have done. So thank you all.
Thank you, Claire, for that as well. So any other questions from the audience? Or from the speakers, Evian, Mayalen, to each other? I know that Evian wanted also to congratulate the Spanish team on this.
Yes, Sam, it was a really nice project, so I want to see it sometime, I think.
Sure, same here. And I also would like to join what Claire said, because we can tell, I think, the audience that we did a previous rehearsal, so I had the chance to hear Evian and their project, which is really interesting, but I didn't have the chance to see your presentation, like the Plus Energy Building Hub and all the, what you have shown today. And I think it's something we will be using for sure. So thank you for that too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, it is a journey, right? And we are investing to make this a platform that will be used, and that can be a space where we can share and what we can learn from each other. And these webinars are a way to activate the platform, and at the same time to invite all designers to join and to use it and to make the most out of it. And the ACE Hub is also a great addition in that sense, because it can create the platform for interaction. So, and are there any questions from the audience? It would be great to hear from you if this is something that you relate to in your in your own challenges building a PEB, maybe. And if not, I have also some questions, and I'm pretty sure Ana Maria or Marta will too.
I'm checking the Q&A, but I mean.
Yeah, I was also checking just to start. Or Ana Maria, please go ahead. Mm-hmm.
Now, well, I was also wondering whether among the attendees there are some people that already experienced to design a PEB. It would be nice to hear from them their experiences in designing plus energy buildings, if they did. Evian?
I think the hub is, I really looking forward to use it a bit more. I think you have been doing a very good job so far, and it's interesting that designers can put their own building into it. So I'm excited to see how this will develop.
Thank you. I have a question. I don't know, Ana Maria, or you want to add something on that?
No, maybe I just wanted to add that at the beginning we wanted just to have multi-residential plus energy buildings, but the PEB HUB can host also other building typologies, so we are open to that as long as I think we can still learn from solutions that were applied for other building uses. So,
Good point.
John?
Mhm.
We can't hear you, John. Yes.
Okay. You can hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I was wondering about the PEB HUB and if you are planning to take, like, for instance, information after the building's been built, like taking in user behavior and experiences during the first couple of years or something like that. That could be quite interesting because then you can see what's working and what's not.
Yeah, that would be an interesting expansion, I think. We haven't thought about it. I mean, up to now we are mostly focused on getting the PEB HUB populated with new cases.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
since it's a platform for designer, I'm not sure they will have access to the data during the operational phase of the building. That's also maybe a question for the designers, whether it will be easy for them to upload this data or not. Because this would, I guess, also require some permission from the building occupants and the owner.
Yeah, that was also one of my remarks, right? Even at this phase, the design phase, it was sometimes not easy for the designers to answer some of these more cultural related questions because they did not know how the residents were going to interact, right? They could maybe have some expectations, but in the end, it is not easy to answer some of those questions. So this questionnaire that you've seen in the platform, it was meant for the designers to reflect on the decisions that they've been making while designing their PEBs, and if they've been thinking about those trade-offs that they have to make, right? Considering taking into account potential future resident needs and what that implies for these design choices. So this was a challenge also collecting that data, but it would be great if they could have access to that and input that. But yeah, seeing that also the limitations that could take, we take your suggestion, John. I would very much appreciate that data too.
It could be interesting, but
Yes.
I see, of course, the difficulties. Yeah.
Thank you for that. Yeah, I wanted to ask Evian and Mayalen and Soledad. So if you would do this again, like designing this building, what would be, I don't know, a few things that you would do differently now that you've been going through this journey of some years? So how would you, what would you do differently now? Yes, please, Evian. I see that Soledad and Mayalen are discussing, so you can start.
Yeah, but also Evian is speaking, but she's muted, so we can't hear you.
Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
see your lips moving. Yes.
Yes. I'm not exactly sure what we would do different, but I think to establish the rules for how much energy produced, because I think in Norway we have a lot of insulation in the buildings, and if you're making the building like a passive house, for example, I see it's very short way to create a plus house. So I think, but today it's also a economical question, because in Norway we have a historic low price for the energy. It's higher now, but we have support from the government, so compared to Europe, it's quite low. So I think to encourage people to install solar panels, and that's something we are going to do.
Okay, thank you for that, Evian. Mayalen, Soledad.
Yeah, Sole was telling me about the challenges and difficulties and thoughts about the interior lighting. I was telling you before that it was like a really new age system. So we think in the moment, like, it was a good decision because of the reasons I've told you before, like to preserve the integrity of the exterior facade. But truth to be said, it was really difficult because making this system like a prefabricated system and installing this in a previously existing building, some of the working groups like weren't prepared for that. So it was really, really challenging. It was also quite expensive. So regarding that cost efficiency we were talking about before, maybe now having tested it, maybe it is too soon for at least our working environment to keep on doing this, and we need to check for other alternatives. Like, it was a really interesting tryout, but maybe we are not prepared for keeping doing it yet.
Okay, yeah, got it. Thank you for that as well, Ana Maria. I mean, I'm aware of the time, but if you or Marta or anyone else in the audience have other questions, I think it's good to spare a few more minutes.
Yeah, maybe I have a question for mainly for Mayalen, because Evian in her presentation also told about the trade-off that they had to face to meet the comfort needs of the occupant, and at the same time to operate the building in an efficient way. So, question for you: was there any particular choice in the design that was driven by this kind of trade-off between the user needs and the operation of the building?
I'm sorry, but I'm not understanding the question.
Yeah. No, I'm asking which were the driver that so the user needs that you started designing for and from, and how these and whether you also do a post-occupancy evaluation of the building in order to understand whether the comfort requirements has been met and the user are satisfied with the indoor environment.
Claire,
Like,
I don't know if you can help
Yes.
us.
Yes, maybe I think I can understand the question, because the thing in San Pedro is that the previous profile of residents was one type, was elderly people, and then finally the people that is now living is a different kind of profile. It is people with different disabilities. So we cannot make this benchmark to compare the the adaptation, the comfort, or the expectations of the residents. But in this sense, we did a work that maybe is interesting, is that with people with elders, there was a workshop done on using VR, virtual reality, where they could provide inputs regarding the furniture, even the lights, where to the switch and the bathroom, different inputs that were really incorporated and used in the design of the apartment. The thing is that then there was a change in the profile of the residents, but given this workshop, we did bring the people that participated, the elders that participated in this virtual reality workshop to the flats, because they had helped design the apartments, and then they could watch, they could be there in the flats as they were built. And their experience is that they found that they suit them and they like the results a lot. So this is an experience that I think is worth share, because they really liked it, and they would love to finally use and live there. Is that what you were asking about?
Yeah, thank you. That sounded really great. And
it's also one of the similar points, right, that connect both projects today. So in the case of the Norwegian building, it was also designed for these similar populations, right, like people with some levels of disability. So this makes these PEBs extra challenging, right, because you need to design for special needs and for people that have like very, very different needs from one apartment to the other. I mean, we were also visiting the Norwegian pilot, and there were residents who have to live on the floor, right? So for them, comfort means something very different for people who can stand and walk. So this adds extra levels of challenges. But it's interesting to understand these cultural aspects, right, and considerations that are being taken into account, or sometimes not, when designing this type of buildings, right? I mean, Pamplona, as you know, it is a kind of a mild, cold climate, and the different cultural aspects are only known by those who are from there, right? So sometimes architects are already bringing that knowledge when they design for this context. To receive your emails and to receive, if you contact us, we will answer all your questions, and we invite you and encourage you to use this platform, this repository, to add your Plus Energy buildings. And if you have any questions, we'll be happy to answer them and keep the momentum going. So I guess see you all on the next webinar, and for the time being, you have here our email addresses. And any final words, Ana Maria?
I will just wanted to thank you, Beatriz, for the organization of the webinar and the effort you're putting into populating and disseminating the platform. Same for Marta and Ludovica and all the Europe team behind the scene on the development of the platform, and also thank to the invited architects for joining it, believing in the project and in the power of sharing their knowledge with their colleagues, designers. It was really interesting to hear about that, about their experiences. So yeah, looking forward the next webinar.
Thank you. Thank you all. Have a good day. Bye bye.
Thank you.